up everywhere.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Technically, it's Pod 49, but we've missed a couple, so
They
I
don't need to know
don't know
Brownie.
what that actually means. It's been a great week and a half to 2 weeks actually.
Should we start with why we haven't been?
No,
Yeah, I
stay
think
till
we
the end to
should.
figure out what we're talking. There's a really big event that's going on. That's all gonna be in frame,
Oh yeah.
so we can just put it over
We
there.
made brownies for you.
No, stay till the middle half or the last half of the podcast. Something big actually. These guys were really worried about it. To be honest, I was chill the whole time.
To be
But
honest,
no,
he
no,
was
no,
like-
no more context than that. McCall, how's work been?
It's been okay.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I went down for a training. It was a mess.
So
No. We'll talk.
part of this
we'll-
story is Ammon has that, and that's part of the story. But it's a mystery tool that will help us later on.
I know what I have, bro. I have a spreadsheet.
Well,
Why does that sound? That sounds about right.
I have a spreadsheet for my comic books too.
That one.
Have you
that's-
shown you my? Oh, I went through the. No, McCall. How has your week been? Why has it been weird? Or not your week, but you started a new job, and it's funny because you're doing more of what your husband should be doing, which is preparing to find people to call and then calling them to sell what you do, which is you are like trained in architecture. Specifically, you have a specific training in water management
yeah.
and waste management or something like that, and you can help other companies do that.
Yeah. And
And Landen has a company that he's trying
Yeah.
to sell so that he can have a business and support a wife and a child on the way. And McCall is doing more work than he is. Let's hear about this.
yeah. I've been doing all the
she gets to-
research.
she gets. That is her job. She's currently being paid to do that. I would like to point that out.
And what are you
Where
currently being
Landon's
paid?
not being paid.
And
To
the
do the
time that I
research.
am able to do the research,
Fake.
I'm spending
that's how
40
it-
hours a week researching CRMs. That is a majority of what I do, because
Just no.
The
That's
guy
bad.
over
Pick
me
one.
feels like we need a CRM, and
I don't think they need a CRM at this point.
HubSpot is free. Just use HubSpot.
That's what they've been
that's
using.
what we've been
actually.
using.
No, HubSpot is great. What are you
Yeah,
talking?
I
Like
know.
Apple uses
I
HubSpot.
don't know all of HubSpot.
No, but
though.
please. So,
I'm like,
what are
I
you allowed
am-
to talk about? Do you know?
I don't know.
So we don't have to talk about it. Okay, Landon, get off
I've
the Legos.
purely been using contacts.
Like
and
eye
I looked at
contacts.
the website stuff a little bit on HubSpot. I just don't know all the potential of it. We joined
see.
like a demo call, and the guy that is doing this with me is.
Does he suck? Do you hate him?
It was a 30-minute meeting, and I think he talked for 20 minutes.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Wonder who that could be.
So Landon, you have some developments.
Yeah, so I've actually been doing what you
So
said
give
I
some
haven't
context.
been doing.
So give some context and then jump.
So if you haven't seen our other podcast, I'm trying to start a bookkeeping business, and part of me is actually.
Fun fact. Wait, I have to interrupt you. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. It's okay.
There's this girl who is an important, influential person. Dude, this guy is still at his house.
He's not coming.
Bryce will not
I
be
genuinely
here.
hate Bryce. But when he shows up, I'm gonna love him and he's gonna be great. No. Do you know Cody Sanchez? She's like she did this little slideshow and she's all like myths about owning a business. And it's like you need to be good with numbers. And it was like 60% of all businesses outsource their bookkeeping.
Yeah,
Did you see that ad or did I send
I
that to you?
haven't seen that actually, but
That was meant to motivate people that are wanting to start a business that are afraid to motivate and do the business. But for me, that
it
just
motivates me to start my bookkeeping business.
because that means that 60% of all businesses in America need to have a bookkeeper, and that's what you want to do, and that's what you offer. So,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Continue on.
So everything that Eamon's saying I wasn't doing, I have been doing actually.
What did I say you weren't doing?
Looking for prospective clients and potentials and all that stuff.
Yeah, you made some
so-
calls.
You need to talk into the mic and
I've-
let go of the Legos while you're talking. Put them down. Yeah, now talk about what you're going to talk about. No distraction.
You're not my boss. So I
You do mumble a little
I've
bit.
been-
when
You
you
look
get-
into the, because I was
I know.
looking at the
Something
volume,
else?
and
I see I see the volume. So okay, I've been looking at prospective clients and finding out. Me and Ammon talked about. I can't remember if it was on the podcast or not. Figured out that I'm gonna focus on contractors and like construction.
picking a
So-
niche. Yeah.
Picking a niche. So I picked some like contractors in construction, and I've researched a couple of them. Mainly, what I'm doing right now is I call them and I'm like, "Hey, look, I'm a student." Like I call not necessarily potential clients, but just people that I'm like, "Okay, this is in my niche. They're not in my area, so they're good." Just kind of like info gathering calls.
So you call out purposely outside of east of the Mississippi?
Yep. So I'm like, "Hey, look, I am a student at the university and I'm looking to I'm just doing a project. Do you have a couple of minutes to ask 3-4 questions?"
Yeah.
Most of them are like, "Yeah, sure." A couple of them are like, "No." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever. Thanks for your time." The ones that are saying yes, I've got a script of like, "Okay, how much do you pay? Like, are you paying someone or are you doing it yourself? How involved in bookkeeping are you?"
Do you ask how big the business is first?
I need to. So I still need to
Like, what's the
modify some
number of
my script.
employees? What's the rough range of revenue, if you don't mind me asking? Because I want to know, like, what sizes. Or, yeah.
Yep. So I'm
So you got a couple
asking
people to
bunch of
answer. What
questions.
information did you get?
So
Did you write it down? Is it on your iPad?
yeah.
So then why are you on your Legos and not on your iPad?
So main thing that I've found.
Doing McCall's job for us, yelling at my boyfriend when she should be yelling at her
No, I'll get
husband.
on my tablet some way. So basically, what I found is they're like, if they use bookkeeping, they're like, if they're paying someone else, like, no, it's like I am so glad I pay for bookkeeping, like it's so worth it. And
Really?
then I ask how much they're paying, and
What numbers are you getting?
usually they're like 150 to 250 somewhere around there, but that's where I need to ask of
250
how
a month?
many, like how big they are. Yeah, and so I need to ask how big they are, and like if it's just their tax guy that's doing it, or if it's so. Some of the other questions I need to ask too, or just like what do you think would get you to move over, like change your bookkeeper? Of
Okay,
is
yeah,
it
yeah.
just
That's a good question.
Is it just price? Because the way
Or
I'm
like
pitching it is I'm doing a project for school. Ask a couple questions about your business. Are you okay to answer? So I need to be like, hey, how big's your business? The things that I need to add to the questions are how big's your business? What are like, is it worth it? What's the only thing keeping you from switching your current bookkeeper to a new bookkeeper? Like, I'm trying to see if bookkeeping business is a viable business model these days. So like, what would get you to switch? And so, and just pose it as that, and then get some info.
What answers are you getting?
So haven't had
How many
a whole
people have
bunch
picked
of
up? How many people have you,
4.
4 people you've actually talked to that have answered your questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 out of probably, I've only made probably about 10 so far, and so I need to make some more calls. But so I actually, when we talked, I achieved my goal of, because we were like 5 info gathering
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
calls and everything. So we did I achieved that goal by the time frame, but now I just need to make another goal of when, and so that's the goal, is to adjust my script, get some more info. And
Do you think that you need more info, or is there a small chance that you're worried? Like,
I think I
we've
want
kind
some
of
more info on size for pricing.
okay,
I don't
that
necessarily
makes sense.
I don't necessarily need the info for size, because what I'll do when I do an onboarding call is I'll tell them, hey, send me your last 6 to 12 bank statements, and then I price it off of how many transactions they do. So the main question that I kind of want to understand, with the opportunity that I have to pose it as I'm a student doing a project, is what would get you to switch?
What area are you calling?
Usually just kind of south of the state.
South of this state?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I've been trying to branch out to the state above us too.
Okay.
So, just to kind of stay in the general area.
Which is Hawaii. So
Yeah,
north of us is Alaska, and south of us is.
Canada.
Okay.
Just kidding, it's Antarctic.
But at what point do you think that if you can get pricing in 3 to 5 calls, at what point do you need to stop making calls and actually start trying to get clients? Because if you're anything like me, it feels really good to get information and do information gathering. It feels like it's important, but it's actually not moving the needle on how much money you're actually
No, I think if I can get answers to those questions because I've got answers to the other questions I've had. If I can get answers to the ones that I'm really looking for are what are going to get you to switch and like what are prices.
What are people saying about what would get them to switch besides? And so
I haven't asked that yet. That's why I want to. Yeah.
You get 4 people come up and ask questions, and
no, I set up a whole list of questions. I asked different
but he's
questions
saying that he wants to adjust
so that's why
his
I want to
questions
adjust the
now.
questions that I'm asking.
Okay.
Because the questions that I were asking were just kind of basic, like, do you use someone for bookkeeping? Do you do it yourself? Some people are like, I just do it myself, and I don't see a need to pay anyone because it just takes a couple days, once a month, and I'm good. Or like twice a month for a day.
I'm lost because I wasn't paying attention, but that's okay.
I know. So let go of the Legos
Or
and
turn off
listen.
the distraction in front of you.
So, but that's what I
That's not true.
that's what I want to get going is ask those questions so that I have more info.
Did you? So how long were these calls? The 4 people that did pick up.
They're like 4 minutes.
And so, do you feel like you could just like have all of these questions?
I could get them answered. Like my goal is by next week to have all those questions.
You shouldn't
answered.
think of it whenever you're doing it.
Yeah. Like I had other questions, but I didn't ask kind of more important
Do you think
questions.
that you could have done a
would actually
10-minute
get
call and just like that they're busy but they're happy to be on the phone, and so you're giving them a distraction, so next time you can ask them all the same questions and 4 minutes worth more of questions, and just they're gonna be like annoyed, but they're gonna be still giving you information?
No, because I can hear them in the background actively working because most of them have just headphones in doing the job.
So they're
The
on the
other
job.
issue
These
I
guys
ran
aren't.
into-
They're like solo contractors. It's like 1 to 3 employees.
For most of them, there have been other ones that I've talked to the employees and they don't know as much, and so that's another hurdle that I've kind of run into. So that's where I need to adjust some of my questions and have almost 2 options of questions based on how much they know. So that's my
is a better
adjustments for this
question
coming week.
revenue or number of employees?
I think the better question
Is revenue
that question probably isn't as important for me, just because
Revenue? Or number of transactions?
number of transactions
okay.
is the important
Yeah,
question,
cool.
because that's what bookkeeping is the transactions and classifying them and all that stuff. So that's what I need to figure out. And so I think if I can get 5, if I really wanted to stretch, it probably wouldn't change a whole bunch, honestly, but depending on the dynamic and the space of people or the range of businesses and the size that I'm working with, that will probably determine how many more calls I need to figure out.
Yeah.
I can probably get it under 10 and get the info that I need to be able to make calls with good information of this is how much they're paying, this is what's actually going to get them to switch. Because the main question I want to ask is what's going to get you to switch from your current bookkeeper? Because most people either have a
But
current
and then so are you
bookkeeper.
don't ask what would get you to switch other
Like,
than
is it-
price.
yeah.
Just say what would get you to switch. If they start saying
Mhm.
price, lead them away from price and find literally anything else, because it's almost never actually price,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Hormozy
It-
says that.
If you made their life say what way could I make your life easier that would make you willing to put that if it was for the same price, that kind of thing. 'Cause I think you're the first thing you're always going to get is like it being cheaper, but what they're really trying to say is like, yeah, I have made very little headway on.
For good reason.
I wonder why. Maybe this
Ammon
is our lead
almost
into.
exploded.
That's not
He
true.
almost exploded.
Landon wouldn't let me
He
explode.
We got a call from a hospital that we needed to pick up some guy.
No, look, they're talking about weird stuff. What I was gonna say is, let me think. In the time that I have had, I was able to I didn't get anything done. I'm gonna
For good reason. It's time for the story of why this is his.
No.
Ammon had surgery for his appendix.
My appendix. Okay, look. I don't
so
know.
We were working.
Oh my goodness.
And he's looking a little yellow. Bryce goes, "Hey, well, actually, Ammon, the night before, we were all hanging out. We were barbecuing and all this other stuff. And he goes, my side just kind of like hurts, you know, like
That's
just
not true.
right here on
What
my
I say is
stomach.
I go,
kind of hurts.
my tummy hurt.
That's exactly what he said. And so then the next day, he's all yellow like, and
I don't think
he's
I was
working.
actually that yellow.
Bryce
There are
goes,
some days I just look yellow.
You were
because
almost as yellow and green as your shirt.
That's not true. I feel like these colors aren't very flattering. This lighting, I
Did
just
you not
great.
warm it up?
flashbang myself.
So
I warmed it up
Ammon,
more than you
I
guys
noticed
had
the
it.
new picture. The new picture is pretty cool, actually.
I think I wanna.
I think we should
change
print
it
one
to
out.
that one.
Hold on. Do you know which one's on my work phone?
It looks better.
You know the one on
Did
my work phone?
Would that one look better on the camera if I were to switch those two?
I don't know. I kind of like that one.
But Ammon wasn't feeling well
Oh,
at
okay.
work.
So Ammon,
No, let me finish the story.
Ammon wasn't feeling well. Bryce says, "Hey, you should definitely go to the doctor." Our other friend Chase goes, "Bro, I almost had my friend
No,
die
that's not
from
true.
appendicitis." And so Ammon's like, "Oh, like should I go home and work some more, or should I like actually go to the doctor?" And all of us unanimously said, "Go to the doctor." So Ammon, he listened. He listened. He went to the doctor.
No, okay, look. And so
For
look,
once.
you were there, so now I get to tell my part of the freaking story.
Yep. Go ahead while I play with my Legos.
That's fine. Play with your Legos. Freaking nerd. Who plays with Legos? Chicken idiot.
Okay.
Who did you say this was?
All these props are Landens. What is this even called? Like a something, and then like, that's a.
No,
that's
this is Marcus Aurelius.
So I go to the hospital, and I'm honestly like, it feels weird, but
Did
like,
you go to the ER or was it a clinic?
I went to a clinic, and
Okay.
I was annoyed because in my mind, I was in pain, and I just wanted to hurry up and get it over with, and part of me was like, how much does it cost to go to the ER? And all of the, like, even with insurance, okay, that's actually insane. Sorry. They were down.
Ammon hasn't gotten rid of his distraction.
Okay, wait. Story interruption. It's the middle of Game 4. It's the fourth quarter of the Game 4 Knicks versus the Spurs. The Knicks were down like 29 points or 25 points. And now, with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they're down 4. Now, oh, that didn't go in. Yeah, they're down 4. That's insane.
Crazy.
So I'm like, how much is it to go to the ER? And in my mind, I'm like, I don't want this to be
How I
appendicitis. No, I don't. I was pretty sure it wasn't appendicitis. And I'm like, ER
I think we
visits
should
are
maybe
like
give the backstory.
$100 and $200.
I don't think I told you. Ammon's mom just had the same surgery like a week before him.
A week?
Oh,
a week, yeah.
yeah.
8 days. She no chance. They're down 1 point.
What's the time?
Who
What's
shot
left?
that? 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's still running. Oh my gosh. Dude, I bet that arena is freaking electric right now. Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah, it's always pretty.
They say.
Oh snap!
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh! That was crazy.
You know the guy that commented of how it took like 5 minutes for me to get you set up on the phone? I hope he's watching again. That we're literally.
Hey, you know what?
You were watching
What was
us
his-
watch something.
What was his name?
I don't know,
Do you
but we
remember
can
his name?
find it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't care what you think.
Ammon.
Everyone else, I love
We're gonna
you.
have to blur that out.
Demonetized.
Does that get us demonetized? Good thing I didn't say what I was actually going to say. So I'm like, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is not appendicitis. This is all my friends and family.
You don't want to overreact.
This is gonna
so
be gay.
It's not worth the ER.
But I'm like, what if it is appendicitis? I should just go to the ER, pay the regular visit because I tack on another $50 going to the stupid clinic. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna manifest this not being appendicitis. I'm gonna go to the clinic, and then they're gonna tell me I'm being dumb and I wasted $50.
Yeah.
I should have just gone to the ER. And so I walk into the clinic. And I do the paperwork, and then they call me in, and I start walking back, and the doctor, he's like way in the far back, and he looks at me, and then I like kind of turn and I go into my room. He walks into the room, and he like touches my stomach, and he's like, leave, go to the ER, you have appendicitis. And I look at him dead in the face. I kid you not. I'm like, are you sure? Like, this could be something else. Like, you don't know the rest of my. I'm like,
you asked a doctor.
Yo, bro, are you? Did you? Where'd you study? What were your grades when you graduated?
I looked at him and I'm like,
are you sure you know what you're talking about, man?
I'm like, can I sleep this off? Is this like what else could this be? He's like, look, if you were a woman, there'd be ovaries down there. And there'd be other stuff that can cause pain. He goes, in men, in this area, there is nothing else that it could be besides appendicitis. And I'm like, I go, like, are you sure? I still don't know. And he goes, genuinely, I don't know, but it's the pain. Oh my gosh, they're leading. That's incredible. So then I come home, I drive my scooter home, and I start the car, and I ride I get the car getting warmed up or whatever, and I'm like, okay, what's the most comfortable clothing I get in here, because these morons gonna make me stay here for 4 hours when I don't want to be here. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch some, I forget what I was watching. I was gonna watch some Atriarch video on YouTube, and then I was gonna be out of the hospital by 9.
Yeah.
And
you know,
I show up there.
About what time did you show up?
I'm in the. I don't even remember. I don't know. I'm just saying numbers at this point.
Okay.
Because I'm annoyed. I'm like, I had plans to. I was really excited to work on the stuff I wanted. The like 3D printing business that I want to start. Like, I knew what I needed to do, and I really wanted to be working on it. And I was annoyed that this was an interruption. At this point, I still am suspending disbelief that it's just not what it is, and I'm just all IBS. They get me into the room, and they're immediately like, you need to do a CT scan, and they're like, can you do a blood test or whatever?
And
who has possession? 38 seconds left. And I'm like, it's not. In the back of my head, I'm like, okay, maybe like it might be, because I could tell by the way that the nurse looked at me.
Just maybe.
I said
everyone.
I said
right.
Whenever I walk,
Everyone
sometimes
but
I can
Ammon
feel
was
it.
Right.
Whenever I walked in and I told them the symptoms, and I said also, like, I walked a little fast today at work, and I felt it in my lower stomach. And I saw the nurse's eye. She was like looking off in the distance, and the doctor was over here. She went like, her eyes went like this, and I was like, what was that? Why did her eyes do that? And he's like, what? And she's like, oh, I'm over here. And then I go do the CT scan. Like 15 minutes later, they're like, you have appendicitis. You're getting your Bryce was just in there, and me and Bryce are laughing. And the nurse was like, yeah, when you said that thing about you walking and it hurting, I immediately knew that it was appendicitis or whatever. I was like, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
So why didn't you tell me then? Everyone was being ultra chill about it, like, beforehand. Everyone was like, oh, I don't know. It's like a low chance, like 40% chance you have it. He told me later on that it was like a 70-30 in his head, but he told me 60-40.
Well, duh.
I'm like, I'm like, they're just like, we don't want to be too serious, because, like, what if it's not? What if you say it's 60-40% chance and then it's not that or something like that? They do a CT scan and they're like, your appendix is inflamed and it needs to be removed or whatever. And then I go in, and they're like, okay, we're gonna move you up to the. They're like, it's actually not like you have time to. Actually, you know what's crazy? Someone in general surgery had just died a day before I got there, and they were down staff. And so everyone was in surgery or at home sleeping, recovering from doing double time in surgery. So I was lucky that I didn't have to go into surgery as early, and my appendix wasn't. I keep looking at you guys because you guys are over here, but everyone's just looking at the side of my face. I'm just like, forget the camera's over here, and that's where everyone can see my beautiful white forehead from this camera light. I need to figure out what is happening here. So they wheel me up, and as they're wheeling me up in the elevator, Gideon calls me. And I'm like, hey, what's up? He just says something incredibly racist. And then the nurse is behind me, and I'm like, hey, by the way, I have like appendicitis. He's like, oh, that's cool. Keeps saying stuff. I'm like, Gideon's the only cool one here who just is like, yeah, you have appendicitis. You're getting your appendix removed. Cool. And then like keeps talking.
I don't think he understood.
And then
he didn't understand that, hey, he knew you were already in the he knew you were already being taken care of.
No,
it wasn't. Hey,
Gideon is a homie. If you're watching, you're gonna get a clip. This he knows. If I'm chilling, we're chilling. He would have trusted me. He would have not told me to go to the hospital because he's a boy. He's one of the boys
that would have shown up to your funeral.
And the speech would have been sick. But I would have been straight chilling the whole time. And so I go in and
that's why they had wide eyes every time you walked around, because they're like, yeah, this bro's chilling. I can't believe his appendix is this inflamed and he's chilling. And he wouldn't
that bad.
This dude will survive. No, they were all like, this dude is gonna die if we don't
none of them
get
thought
him
that.
in there.
They all kept saying we caught it early or something.
Exactly. So they were like, yeah, I'm glad this dude came in. It wasn't just burst.
It would have been fun. And then
so they take you to the other room.
They take me to this upstairs room. It's like a room that you sleep in or whatever. And the nurses were pretty chill. They're like, we're supposed to put like a bed alarm on you in case you get out of bed in the middle of the night. We're gonna have a nurse come in. They're like, you're young, you're cool, you're funny.
Yeah, you want to hear what Ammon said after we had picked him up and he was out for the count? He goes,
we're going chronological order.
I looked it up. Okay, yeah, we'll go in chronological order.
I was like, wait.
So then these doctors are all chill. They're like, do you do drugs? I'm like, yeah, I do drugs. And they're like, well, what drugs do you do? I'm like, no, I don't do drugs. They're like, this is serious doctor like stuff. You need to like not be joking about whether you're on drugs or not for your surgery tomorrow. I'm like, oh, sorry. Okay.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
And I was like, no, it's been a while. And they're like, nicotine issues. I'm like, I wish, but no. And then I went out. Okay, this is just reruns.
I need 6 of these.
So Bryce is there, and Bryce, the doctor comes in. He like pokes his head in, and he's like, "Hey, you got appendicitis. You're going into surgery in the morning." And Bean Bryce just start laughing. I'm like on the phone with my mom.
This is the funniest thing for Ammon, because this is the first time that not the first time. This is the first time that he's realized
that I may have been wrong.
That he was wrong.
And I was still, you know what's so funny? He didn't pop his head in. He was in there. I did look at him. I'm like, are you I'm like, could this like stop? I was like, so it's inflamed. Is there a chance that it could just get
Go
better?
Home.
I was like, can I just spend a night in the hospital and sleep it off? He's like, no, dude. I'm like, damn it. I want to keep this thing.
And it's doing you a bunch of good right now.
They're down by 1 now. With 5 seconds left. Oh, the Knicks lost. That's okay. I end up in the room. Bryce and Liv bring me food, and they bring me a blanket, and they were so nice. And this nurse comes in. Oh, that's game. Is that game?
Yeah, that's game.
Is that where they're coupling hands? There's 4 seconds left. Oh, okay, game. They lost. 1 point. That's crazy.
Wild.
I forgot what I was saying. The nurse comes in. This is like the 5th nurse in here because they're all asking me like so many questions. She goes like, "There's a small chance that after surgery, because you're going under, you could get pneumonia afterwards." Which I'm like, I don't understand how that works, right? But she gives me this little mouth breathing thing. And she's like, okay, so it's like this plastic contraption. You like blow into it, and this little bobber goes up as you blow into it. But you don't want to go too high. You want to go regular, and you want this thing to slowly rise, and you want to it's like expend your lungs or whatever. And I like get up and I sit over in my bed, and she's holding it, and Bryce and Liv are behind me. I go in and I put it toward my mouth and like it's like this far away and I go, wait, do I how do I do this? And I look over at Bryce and then Bryce and them are laughing and I turn around and I go to do it again. I go, I don't and she like almost falls over laughing. It was the funniest bit ever. And then she's like on the floor and she's like hunched over holding this mouthpiece. And I'm like, okay, let me try again. I like beamed over trying to put my mouth on it while she's like falling over laughing. I was like, that's one of my best bits ever. And then I just take it and I go, and I win, right? And I completely win, and I get the lung thing fixed. Oh no, it's not game.
I get the lung thing.
Oh
fixed.
wait, do the Knicks have possession? Oh my gosh.
He gets the lung thing fixed. And then he watches.
No! Oh!
Oh, that was wild.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
No way! That was crazy! The tip in? Oh my gosh!
We're gonna have to like
Okay.
show the video.
No, you're not seeing the video. No one cares. If you like basketball, you like
Copyright.
basketball. That would okay. With the number of seconds that were left,
That
with
was
it,
wild.
if Brunson had got it first try, that would have been way more insane. But the tip, oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway,
So
I,
you're
I,
trying to
I,
put your
I,
mouth on the thing.
I put the thing on. I win, and then I go to sleep. Okay, and then I have like a seizure in the middle of the night. I didn't tell you guys this because I thought everyone was gonna be super worried.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't have like a full seizure, but
I know you told me that
in-
they like came in and they're all worried and.
in the night, and so yeah.
Yeah.
I just like kept shaking, and I didn't know what was happening. I wasn't in pain. I think they had given me Tylenol, and can't remember if they gave me one OxyContin that night for pain. I didn't.
Also, it's oxycodone.
Whatever, cotton. Cotton's the one that's more addictive and it sounds cooler. Oxy, whatever, who cares? It's all the same. And the oxycotton is the one that lasts longer. Oxycodone is the one but it's less addictive and it only lasts for like 5 hours. I googled it.
You googled a lot of things
You
during
googled
that
a lot of
time.
things.
When?
So continue so we can get to our part that
Yeah.
you don't remember.
I remember most of it. So I had a seizure and then I woke up. I mean, everything else was pretty eventful. I was
woke
worried the
up.
cute nurse was gonna look at my butt through my.
Yeah, so he goes, hold on, don't
Dude,
look.
I do one of those nurses I would have totally made out with, but I think she was taller than me, and she was lead nurse. She was really hot.
Which nurse isn't taller than you though?
Anyways, the rest of the story, I guess. I'm 4'4".
So Ammon, so I get this call. So I was told, okay, Ammon's going into surgery. Bryce is like, okay, he's going into surgery. This is when. And so goes into surgery. I don't hear anything that morning. I'm helping another friend move. And I'm like, at some point, I'm going to get a call saying, hey, come pick me up from the
Okay,
hospital.
I kind of
'Cause
felt
Bryce
bad
was working.
because
And-
no, genuinely.
Then I get a call from Bryce, and he's like, hey, I'm working. The hospital called me.
I'm
Uh,
Ammon's emergency contact.
No, because you know what it was. My one of my friends, I call her my aunt, but she's a friend. Is my emergency contact. Her name's Carly, and she was the only emergency contact. I'm like, well, I need to add another one. The thing was, Bryce was the only one there, so I didn't. I was like mind blocked. I didn't think of to add anyone else. I just saw Bryce and like, let's just add Bryce as the emergency contact. Because I was like half naked walking into the surgery room, and they're like, you don't have an emergency contact. And then they're like bumping Black Eyed Peas in the surgery room, and I'm barefoot, and the tile's cold, and I'm like, get me my phone. It's at 1%, and I'm like, write this number down right now. He like uses the iPad to take a picture of it. My phone dies.
Oh my gosh.
And then I'm like, okay. I write the number down in the surgery room, and I'm like, okay, this is my emergency contact. Because I couldn't think of anyone else.
He was the most recent call on your.
That's
call.
exactly what it was.
And so we get the call from Bryce. We're like, yeah, okay, we'll be there in a little bit. He's like, yeah, I'll be ready in like 30 minutes. So we pick some food up. We're like, okay, we'll go pick Ammon up. Shouldn't be bad. We
You're
just
in a
pick
cave?
him up. No, we pick our food up.
In a the word you said after that.
And
We're
then
gonna
we
pick-
went to pick Ammon.
Oh, I don't
up.
know. I'm hallucinating. Don't listen to me.
So
Nothing's
we
changed.
go to pick you up, and you were just sitting there. I wonder, there's got to be a way I can put the picture.
I remember some
Oh.
of this.
Eyes closed,
Just-
white as a ghost,
We walk
mouth
in,
open.
nothing. I'm like, is he even alive still?
Anesthesia is crazy. I guess I think they said they gave me fentanyl for the surgery. So I was fented out, okay? And dude, okay, I thought I was dead. What'd you do? Get a hole?
Stain on my shirt.
Dang.
So he no. This
No,
is
I have
our
another
part of
story,
the story.
chronological order.
Okay.
I go into surgery. Black Eyed Peas is bumping. They're like, you're going to feel something warm in your arm. I'm out, okay? My next memory, I wake up. I look over and I go, I can't breathe. I don't know why. I cannot breathe to save my life. I
Because
cannot.
you had a panic attack, right? That's what you told us when we picked you up. You were like, had a panic attack when I came out of anesthesia.
That might have been exactly what happened. I was like, I thought I was going to die. I couldn't breathe. And I look over to my left, and I swear to you, I know what I saw. Someone was being zipped up in a black bag. Someone died. I know for a fact. Someone died. I look over and I'm like, I'm in the dead room, and I'm about to die, and they're going to zip me up, and I'm going to die.
I'm next
'Cause
for the black
I've
zipped up
never
bag.
seen.
No, something was.
They
there
wheel
was
you
a
off
black
to a
bag being
whole
zipped up.
separate section of the hospital to do that.
They just because there must
It
there,
was
must, there must
probably a
be there must
practice
be
dummy.
surgery there must be surgery room and then like a private room that people don't go in and then the third room that I was in. I was not in that third room. There was a bunch of beds.
No, yeah, they like line you because after mine,
I
was
I
in
don't
the
know.
same place as you.
yeah. There's 4 seconds of me being conscious in that room, and that's me being like, I can't breathe. Over seeing someone being put into a body bag, and then me going unconscious again on fentanyl.
This is
And then
it.
I
This
w-
is the
And
end.
then you woke up in the next room.
And then I woke up in the next room, and they're like, your buddy's at work. I'm like, yeah, he's at work, and he'll figure it out. I believe in him. And then I go
And
back.
there, all these nurses are like, crap, we're stuck with this guy.
No, the thing was, I wasn't talking. I was so unconscious then. The only thing that would wake me up was the the only thing that would wake me up was the oxygen sensor because it was dumb and it didn't know that I was cool, and I just hold my breath whenever I want to if I'm on anesthesia apparently,
Uh-huh.
and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna die. The nurse was like, your oxygen got down to like 65, 70. I'm
You
like,
gotta breathe.
I have perfect,
That kind
awesome.
of
I have
helps your
perfect, awesome
heartbeat.
lungs. My lungs are so sick that I can stop breathing for 20 seconds. My blood oxygen level goes down to 70, and then I go one breath, and I'm back up to 100 because I freaking hold my breath all the time because I'm awesome.
So Ammon's still out of it, and we show up after picking up our lunch.
No, I'm kind of into it
doctors-
only because I keep getting really annoyed because every time I really fall back asleep, I stop breathing because I have sleep apnea or something, or the fentanyl makes me not breathe, and the blood oxygen sensor keeps going beep beep, and I'm like, what the? And I go. And I go back to sleep because I just reoxygenate my
He's
blood.
gotta
'cause-
remember to breathe, because if he falls asleep, he's gonna pass
No,
out.
like, then I pass out and I'm fine. It doesn't matter if your blood oxygen level is low while you're sleeping. I will catch the breath in my sleep. I won't die.
brain
So we
needs
get
oxygen.
there.
My
The
brain doesn't
nurse
need
is
oxygen,
like-
There are
though.
3
So he
nurses
got out.
crowding around his door.
Is that true?
The curtain to go in there, yeah.
Because they're like, is this bro alive? Are we gonna
I
have to
think they
step
were
in?
changing
nur-
shifts.
One of the nurses, I remember through the curtain across the way, she was on her computer. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
She was so annoyed with me.
I wonder why. So we show
'Cause I-
up, and Ammon's like mid conversation. She's telling us what to do. Well, it took him a while actually to get conscious. So
We sat there
she's-
for probably 45 minutes
Before he even got
before
conscious.
she could
'Cause-
do.
And for that,
And
I
Bryce told
apologize.
us-
They gave me too much fent.
and he was like, we were like, okay,
I'll
we'll
tank
pick him
the
up
Fent
and
next time.
we'll be fine. Like we'll pick him up. It'll probably be a few minutes, and then we'll get him.
Our
and then
lunch
we'll
is
go.
sitting
Yeah,
in the
lunch
car.
is sitting in the car, whatever. Like, gotta pick him up. So we go pick him up, and the doctors are like, do you need anything? Like, bro's not even awake enough to do anything. So we have to wait a few minutes till he's actually up. And then by the time he actually kind of starts to wake up, nurse is talking to him about how you need to be taken care of. And mid conversation with her, you'll ask a question like, wait, how many do I need to? And then there's another time that you were mid word. You're like, wait, how many? What meta? Out for the count. And so you're like, okay, Then you finally started to wake up. She told us everything we needed
She
to.
gave me caffeine. What saved me
gave
was she just gave me a Coke.
caffeine,
And I
yeah.
was like chugging
Yeah.
the Coke.
So you were doing all right. But then, by the time you finally were getting ready to sit up and everything, you set up real slow. It was pretty funny. I got a picture of it. You set up real slow, and you just take your arm and go. But like you like
hunched over,
but-
like you had both hands on your knees,
like,
just like
if you'd done it
spread eagle.
normal, you would have just been like, okay, I'm taking a second. But you took the effort and energy to over exaggerate and put your hand on your knee.
I'm
And-
hilarious even when I'm on
And the
fentanyl.
nurse
That has to say
just
something.
Didn't
As
know
you're
how
d-
to take you either.
as
and
you're
that
talking,
was the funniest part.
You're trying to make jokes, and so everyone, so because you're out of it, falling asleep
Okay,
mid-word,
no.
she's talking
did
about
any of
all this
them-
stuff,
did
and you're
any of them
making
land?
jokes. Yeah, you're making some
Did
jokes.
some of the jokes land though?
But
with
she
you
has
guys?
no idea, because your jokes are very sarcastic. She has no idea what type of personality you have, and you're just making these comments. And if you had made more comments on time and like your spatial and brain power was at even 75%, she probably would have been like, oh, this is just how this guy is. No, he's running at 3% speed. And you're making these jokes.
It's like
and she's
something
like,
would happen,
okay,
and then,
she's-
like, 2 minutes
she's
later,
rolling
he's like-
her eyes as she's talking to us and to you, and she
I never
she
saw
gives
her
up
roll.
and she just talks to us, and she's like, this is what he needs to do. This is the packet of information.
They gave me too much fent. If she wanted me to listen to her, she must have known I just went through
But
freaking
it was
general surgery. Freaking. What time were you guys there?
it was the jokes.
What time
that
were you
you
guys
were
there?
making
Got
that
there
she
at,
was
like
just-
noon.
So I went into surgery at 9:45, almost 10. So that means 2 hours later, they had cut me open,
So you must
thrown
be,
me,
like-
thrown me into another room, and I'm still
was-
on fent.
You
What
were.
do you
It was.
expect me to
It
do?
was 12:30 by the time we showed up. You didn't sit up until like 1:15.
Because I was on fentanyl.
And then by the time you actually got up was 2:30.
Dude, and they gave me the stuff that killed Michael Jackson, I think. The white stuff, propofol. Michael Jackson called it his little milk.
But the best part was, Landon went to go help you change. Like,
I
get into
remember
your
that.
clothes.
She goes, "Do you want me to help you in the bathroom or Landon?" I look over at Landon. I'm like, "I want Landon to help me. He's seen me naked before." I make little kissy faces at him, and I don't see. She's probably rolling her
And
eyes in the background.
she's starting to finally understand.
And she's like,
towards the end,
she's like, "You're
5-10
and then
minutes
by
before
the time we leave, she's
this
like,
is his
"You're
And
personality."
it was just me and her in there. And I was like, I'm so sorry about him. And I was
You don't
like,
need to
"He's
apologize
just-
for me. I'm
he's just
awesome."
really sarcastic. And I was like, I hope you're not offended. And she was like, it's okay. We get people like that, like, sometimes.
We get people like that sometimes. the life of the party. She's gonna talk about me to all of her coworkers, to all of her friends at home.
She
I'm
was.
awesome.
As we were packing you up, she was like in a little circle with like 4 different nurses
Good.
talking about you.
So too bad that she could never be a comedian. She would judge herself too much for trying to be funny. I leave it all on the table. I'm in the arena and I'm laughing. We're having a good time. We're jovial. I'm making jokes about Landon seeing my butthole, and it's awesome. And she's over here
That's
like,
pretty great.
who's this guy? Cool. You're a prude and nobody likes you and you're not funny. No one cares.
She understood
caught on
eventually.
at the
She's
end.
like, oh, this is just how
This
this
is
guy
the
Yeah,
type
is.
of
he's
guy he
awesome and
is.
he's funny and he's sarcastic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We almost
I
kissed.
think she would have.
That's not true. I just said that. I guess that landed, but she was not that attractive. Oh
But
my
then we
God.
get to take him home. That's the best part.
Dude.
So we
He can't
we're
go
driving
home.
home, right? So we're like, he's gonna have to stay at our place, and so we take him home, and we're taking care of him, cause we love Ammon, and he's okay most of the time, you know. And so
Freaking
we're driving him
propaganda.
home. We get some meds for him. We get him a little Lego that apparently
Bro.
he has already.
Yes, we're still recording. Where are you?
The people finally showed up and they sat down on the couch for like 2 minutes. They're like, all right, we're done. Thanks for letting us stop by. I'm like, say what?
Okay, be here. 5 minutes. I love you. See you in a sec. Don't do drugs.
Are you guys still recording for a little longer?
Yes. How
Like
much?
15 more minutes.
15 more minutes. It's not showing up. What's up?
7 minutes away. Do you guys still want to come over and try the sim, or does Land need to go to bed?
I want to try the sim.
I'll be there too.
So we pick him up. We're driving. He gets a little sick. So we pull over. All this other stuff. We take
We
care
switch
of him.
seats. He sits in the front.
We get him.
He's got the window rolled down. His head's like practically out the
He's
car
like a
door
dog.
to keep him from
His tongue's
getting
out.
car
you know.
sick.
Fentanyl must make you car sick. 'Cause I've never been car sick in my life.
So we get home. We're taking you up the stairs. You're just out of it. I have a picture of you sitting on the couch, and I turned Star Wars: The Clone Wars on, and you're sitting there.
When you're
No
on
words.
fentanyl, doing that posture just feels really good. Or on Oxy or whatever I was on.
Or
It's like-
maybe when you've been
Yeah.
cut into and had an organ
But it was-
removed, that's comfortable.
I can only imagine how you were watching the Star Wars: The Clone Wars with the lightsabers and the blasters and the Force, and you're just.
It was. That was honestly, I
Do you remember any of that?
Then
I remember all of
you
this.
took a nap, right? So then we watched The Wedding Singer, and that was fun, and it was a good movie.
I did not-
You were trying not to laugh, and you were worried that we didn't like it, but we actually liked it.
To be
and it was
honest,
fun.
remembering that movie, either it was because of the drugs. That movie freaking sucks.
It's
That movie is a
It's pretty-
solid 3. That movie sucks so bad.
Pretty
Mom,
terrible.
Mom, you're watching this week. If you don't get to this part, you hate me. Mom, Wedding Singer sucks so bad. It's terrible. I just
I
rewatched it
kind
with
of
them.
liked it.
They
it was like
slop,
it was
okay?
like the cheesy. It was like the it's terrible.
That
but I
movie
like
sucks
it
so
because
bad.
terrible.
It's a 2. You have terrible taste, Mom. That movie sucks.
That is so mean to say to your mom.
I love you, Mom, but like genuinely, that movie sucks so bad. I can't get over it. That movie sucked. I was embarrassed to have my friends watch that movie with me because I'm like, this movie's a what? If they weren't there, I was gonna turn it off. It was so bad. I love you, Mom.
But then you went to bed. How
Wake
was
up the
sleeping through
next-
the night?
Yeah, he woke up. We
Did,
wrote down.
Did you give me an Oxy that night?
Yes, we wrote
Oxy?
down
Half
what you
of it.
needed
Half.
to do.
That's the only way I was able to sleep, bro. I've
Well,
never
good.
slept better in my
I'm
life.
glad it worked. But I left a little sticky note of when he
And
could take medication.
I woke up in the middle of the night and then I wrote it down.
Yeah,
I was
and
good.
he was
I,
good. He
I,
wrote
there are
down what
moments.
time-
Okay, essentially, I can be lucid like I am now after the surgery for spurts of 5 to 10 minutes for every couple of hours.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, so no, like because then it's just like I'm too tired. Something's wrong. Something's too off. Have too much different drugs going through my body. It's like I can lock in and focus and like okay, if my life depends on it, I can do this for the next 5 to 10 minutes. But then I have to lay down for like 45 minutes to an hour. And so yeah, well I was asleep. So then I woke up. I'm like, okay, I should probably take meds. I'm a little bit in pain, and So I took the right one. And I was like, I'm gonna wait an hour to stagger it a little bit, and then I was asleep, and then everything was fine.
I don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore.
So we woke up to
And then
that
I
little
confessed my
note.
love to Landen, and I was like, thank you. I remember in the car, I was like, Landen, thank you so much for being a good friend. I love you and how you support me with my job or whatever, because nobody else does, because Bryce always wants to play video games.
Oh, that's when we brought you back to the apartment.
Yeah.
Which time?
That first drive.
The
from
very first time I
hospital.
remember that. I was like,
Yeah.
I love you guys.
I remember that too.
Whatever, bro. Whatever.
So
Okay.
then he wakes up. So I call Gigs the day before, and I'm giving him updates because I'm like, hey, look, I don't know if he's talking to you or anyone in your family.
Or if his family even knows he's out
but,
of surgery.
This is what's going on. He goes, okay, I've been ordered
Okay,
to
wait, actually-
pick him up for this wedding that we've got tomorrow.
No.
But I'm gonna let him decide if he
So
wants
you
to
guys,
do that.
one second, you guys called him? 'Cause
Yeah.
Gideon's a homie. He knew.
He called us about saying we have to like.
No, let me see my family. So you guys called him first, right? As soon as you called him, Gideon in the family group chat goes, he says, what did he say? He said, Gideon, Ammon surgery was successful. His penis was removed without incident. Thank you so much for attention to this matter. And he goes, next text, he goes, major problem, appendix. Sorry. His appendix was removed. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Thank you for the attention to this matter. And then everyone was dying in the chat. and Gideon, everyone was texting me. They thought it was the funniest thing in the entire world.
That sounds about right.
But then you had to leave for work.
Well, no. Before I left for work, we he's talking to us because Giggs was like, I need to pick Ammon up so someone can take care of him, and he's gonna go to this wedding. We were like, okay, we'll figure something out. Like that'll probably be good for him.
Okay,
to be
I
taken
do feel
care of
bad
by
about
someone
this.
else 'cause we were gone.
I'm not good
Nicole
at
had a
making
wedding.
decisions on like.
But then Ammon goes, so guys, I looked it up, and as long as you're young, cool, and not gay, you can totally drive on Oxy. And we were like, no.
We just, like, stood there
No.
and stared at him for a second.
And he said that.
we were like,
he said that when he
"What?"
originally called. He said, "Dude, I can totally drive. Like you guys are just being babies. I can totally drive right now." So we are like, "No, you cannot."
That's funny.
And so
I said that. That's awesome.
So then, the morning of, you go, guys, I looked it up. As long as you're cool, young, and not gay, I can totally drive. You go, sure, yeah. As long as you're cool, young, and not gay, you can drive while you're drunk. But that doesn't end up going well.
I know.
It's
Hey, it's the drunk
we are-
crashers that give the
we
drunk
are
drivers a bad.
not letting you. We are not letting you do that.
In hindsight, this is really hard for me to say. This is really taking a lot of like all of my adult years of learning to be humble and all of my adult years of breaking down my ego. Unfortunately, they were correct about this one thing and absolutely nothing else. I probably should not have been driving on Oxy.
Yeah, so we didn't let you.
And then we go to have you pick your clothes up, right? You're like,
Well,
okay.
no, we gotta.
Why don't they have
Okay,
classes?
now it's McCall's turn.
Landon left for work, so it was just me and Ammon hanging out.
Yeah, this was bad. I remember almost none of this, but I remember being like, "This is a bad situation." Each time I was
Ammon
like,
was
lucid
a
enough.
little grumpy that day,
Oh
to
my
say
gosh,
the
that is
As you
least.
can tell from his, I looked it up. As long as you're cool, young, and
They
not
were gonna
gay.
let me drive, and I was kind of pissed about it. Okay, I'm sorry.
I know, it's okay. So Landon leaves. The best part, when Landon leaves for work, I give him a kiss goodbye, and then I close
She
the door.
told me this today. I didn't find
And
this out till today.
I turn around and Ammon's sitting on the couch, and he goes, "Ooh, I'm McCall and Landon. We love each other so much. We like to kiss in front of Ammon and make him jealous."
I did not say that.
So funny.
I did not say that, bro.
Yeah, you did.
That's like the thing is they know that I was on drugs, so they can make up stories about me that sound true. Does that sound like something that
Right.
I would say? No and no.
I think if we ask anyone but you, I think everyone will say yes.
Till I die, I did not say that.
You totally said that. It was
So then-
so funny.
So then we're gonna meet.
So we're coordinating with
your-
Ammon's cousin's wife
Yeah.
to come pick him up. And so I have a wedding that I'm trying to make it to on time. And so I'm rushing to hurry and get
To be
ready.
honest, she's not even in the wedding. Continue.
She was a bridesmaid.
You lied to me. What the hell?
I was not a bridesmaid.
Oh, okay. Well, she was not in the wedding.
I was not in the wedding.
Landon's a
I was
liar.
trying to make it to the ceremony because I'm close to her. Anyway, and so
'Cause you're
I'm
what?
having to
She
coordinate.
was everything but a bridesmaid.
Oh, okay, I see. So you were important to the wedding. Anyway, keep going. I was just
Yes.
kidding.
She
She was not important in the wedding.
and so
She
I get
comes to your
ready,
apartment.
I grab all my stuff for the wedding, and I get Ammon into the car.
Well, before you were like, Ammon, we need to get ready.
I took my first
So
full
I'm-
Oxy ever right before this.
You
and
did.
she-
So I was on
He
half
had
the
only
night
been
before.
taking halves.
She goes,
No,
Ammon.
one half, another half, the pill was gone. That
Uh-huh.
morning, I wake up. After he leaves, I'm in pain. So I'm like, it's probably smart that I take another one.
Yeah, and then
A
you get
full
mad
one.
at her.
And he
You
opens
go,
the pill bottle himself,
takes
pops
an oxy.
the oxy and some Tylenol.
Oh,
And
no,
then he gets
because-
And then
mad.
he's like, I should probably offset the Advil. And I was like, well, yeah, probably. What did you just take? Like,
And,
No,
you
I'll tell
probably
you
should
what,
have eaten
I-
some
you
food.
go, you manipulated me to take that pill.
No,
and
I
went, "You
remember this
opened the
situation.
bottle."
I remember the situation. No.
Okay, let's hear it.
I still thought I could drive at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So I'm
trying to
thinking-
convince her to
I'm thinking-
drive.
I'm trying in the back of my head. I'm with the few lucid moments that I have. I'm game planning in my head. Will they bring me to my apartment, or will they let me stay at their place until I'm fine enough to just drive to the wedding that night or the next morning? Is what I was thinking in my head. But I knew as soon as I took an oxy, that whole plan was done. And so I'm in pain, and no, and you're in, and and you're
he's
like
trying
you
not
should,
to break character as
no,
he's telling
no.
the
You're like
lies.
you should probably take an oxy, and I'm like you're probably right. And then I open the pill bottle, and then as I put it on my tongue, I realized I had forgotten that I had been game planning that I wanted to drive there by myself, and that is me putting it on my tongue. I had to take it. I wasn't gonna spit it out or whatever. And so I take it, and I'm mad because I'm like, freak, that plan that I had that I forgot about that I had made 20 minutes ago while I was semi-lucid is done.
And now it's all McCall's
So
fault.
now
and
let me blame it on McCall.
You manipulated me.
She did, but she
Let
didn't.
me manipulate
In that
you.
moment, I story told myself that she knew the game plan that I had, and she was trying to break my game plan. That's obviously not true. Okay, I'm allowed to be weird. I've never been on fentanyl before, never been on propofol before, never been on oxy before. Like, give me a break.
So,
But the
so
best
then
part,
they get to his apartment. Well, before they even got to his
finally get
apartment,
him to the car.
because she was
with
like,
all
"Ammon,
the
you need to
stuff."
get ready." While I'm getting ready, grab your stuff. She gets ready, comes out, and you're on your phone, and you go, "Sorry, was I supposed to be doing something? I wasn't listening."
And I was like, yeah, like you need to start gathering all your stuff. We're gonna head to your apartment and go get you packed.
So she finally gets
And
you in
then
the car.
even then, he's like, 2 minutes later, wait, what did you say? I was like too busy scrolling, and I was like, I'm gonna rip my hair out.
No, I get absolved of all of this. I
then-
was on drugs.
So
we
then
finally
they get him
the
to
car.
the car.
We hit
to your
Do
apartment.
you remember the crazy big bump that I hit? That was pretty funny. So we have a giant bump coming out of our apartment, and Ammon like ragdolls the entire thing. He's like,
Well, okay, look,
swaying
I'll tell you.
side to side, and then he puts his hand on my shoulder, and he's like all wide-eyed, like, whoa.
No, okay, look, let me tell you the thought process that was going through my head. I essentially had game planned in my head. I have a seatbelt on. I'm in this car. If there are any major bumps, I need to not flex my ab muscles or else I'm going to hurt myself or tear something. I just had surgery, right? But
Okay.
what I didn't plan for was I'd never been on oxy before in a real way like that before. So I'm on
in a real way, but a fake way. You have been.
you know what I'm talking about. So I had no idea, like, really latent, like reaction time, and like no balance almost, and like the sounds are like really loud and long. Like I don't know it's every music sound. Okay, I was already starting to tell. And so I had game planned. I'm like, I'm not gonna hurt myself by trying to, like, in a normal car, you probably never realize how, like, you use a little bit of your muscle to just kind of like sway against the car to, like, because if everyone just was fully dead, limp, relaxed in a car, every turn would actually be crazy. But I was on oxy, so I remember being like, okay, I game planned for this bump. So we go, and I like fall. I'm like, what the freak is happening right now?
We're like a minute into the car ride.
He's like, whoa.
Whoa.
I just didn't expect it. It was like my first experience with just being like thrown around on drugs and not trying. So then the
I
rest
gave
of
you
the
no
rest,
warning too. So
the rest
that
of the
was my
drive,
bad.
I was like, I'm just gonna compensate for it, and if something rips, something rips. But everything seemed to be fine.
So they finally get to his apartment,
We're standing right
and
there,
they're running late.
and I remember being like, I remember looking over and be like, I have Alzheimer's. I have no idea what's happening right now. I'm so lost. And I look at you and I
And
go,
You walk in, and you first grab your mason jar for all of your plants to water, and go, "Can you water my plants?" And
He's
I
like,
was like,
Ammon.
"Sure." And I was like, "Why don't you find a bag for all of your
watering the
clothes?"
plants took 20 seconds max.
Focus
I know.
on getting your clothes
We
while
were
I
there
water your
to
plant.
pack, and we were running so late to meeting her.
To be honest, I had no idea how late we were. I was not aware of how late we were because she
You're
wouldn't
trying
tell
not
me.
to make you feel bad.
She was trying to.
So then
I hate
she
that.
waters the
Bad
plant,
friends.
comes back in.
And Ammon is standing there, and he just has the most blank look on his face.
Not
And
even a
he was
1,000-yard
like,
stare. Just
I'm
can-
sorry.
I can
I
promise.
don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I can promise you, not a single thought. I remember staring at that door
Yeah.
and just being like, something must be happening right now, but I'm so gone. I shouldn't be standing right now. Is what I was thinking.
And the oxy was really getting into your system at that point of
And-
dissolving and
and
all that.
I didn't even peek yet. It was crazy.
And so then I'm like, okay, we
And I
need
remember
a suitcase.
I like
Where's your
walked
suitcase?
downstairs.
Yeah, you walked downstairs and there was no handrail, and I was like, if he falls, I'm pregnant. I can't carry him.
No,
up the
my thought
stairs.
process was the only thing I remember thinking that you were pregnant, and I was like, I have to walk down these stairs, and I was like, Jeebus, for the love, get me through this. And I blacked out, and it worked out.
Well, and you were like, it's in a precarious spot. Like, it's not good for a pregnant woman to do.
Did I
And so
say
you
that?
were like, I'm gonna go down, and I was like, okay, like,
And I lived. I clutched it up.
yeah,
Because
you
I'm
were fine.
cool.
So then we
Young
finally
and
have your
not gay.
suitcase, and I'm like,
Apparently.
okay, you need wedding clothes, like clothes for the wedding. What are you
I
gonna
was
wear?
like, that's a good idea. I remember you saying that and being like,
Yeah.
I
You were
would have.
like, yeah. So then I'm like, okay, you need a white shirt. Like, I had to like step by step
I'm so
what you
sorry.
needed for church.
Don't
clothes.
do drugs. They were. They
And then you
destroyed
start
me.
just dumping out your dirty clothes to pack up because
No,
you're like, I gotta
you
wash
hadn't
them
done
wherever
laundry,
I
yeah.
go. Because
I was
gonna
do
laundry.
laundry
Before,
yeah,
the night you went to the doctor, you were
the
supposed
night
to
the
do
night I
laundry.
went to the doctor, I needed to be doing my laundry. That was the
Yeah.
day I was gonna do all of my
Yup.
laundry.
And so it was like you didn't even pack socks because you were like, I don't know where any of the socks are. And I was like,
He's like,
I'm
"Someone
not
will
gonna
buy me socks."
overstep and go through your dirty clothes for you. So you're like, I'll just buy.
No,
socks.
I have family, and the family. I would give any of my family all of my socks and go buy. Socks are nothing. Who
So
cares
then,
about socks?
then you
Right?
make it to the
I
wedding.
had game plan. I'm like, they'll find me socks, or I'll go barefoot, and it'll be funny because I'm on drugs. Who cares? I was halfway. You know what I mean?
The best part was picking out shoes. Too.
I was like, in my
you were
mind-
like,
in-
what shoes do I need? You were like, what am I gonna be doing? And you were like, do I need to bring tennis shoes? Like, do I need to bring like walking around? Like, you were trying to like think through it, but it was all
was not
allowed.
working.
And I was like, bro, I don't know what you're gonna be doing. I assume you're probably gonna be relaxing because
You
you're
gotta rest.
post surgery. But
So you finally make it to the wedding. Your cousin was saying you
No,
were
I-
about to die.
I what?
You
almost
almost got
died.
heat stroke. You
no,
took
no, no.
an oxy.
We'll talk about the handoff of me and Haley next week.
Yep. Thanks for watching this week
I don't. we
and
chatted for
tuning
I
in
just lost that
for
Lego.
Ammon's story. It's by your butt.
What we'll do is he just grabbed my butt.
And we'll
I
talk
feel
about
like
it
my
next
hair
week.
looked bad this week. Mom, tell me if my hair looked bad this week. Be honest with me. Tell me, how do I need to change it? Do I need to cut it shorter on the sides? Do I need to cut the length off the top? Or do I need to go back to the middle part, Mom? Tell me. I love you.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.